All right, so now I'm getting the second part of this done. Honestly, since I suck at this and I'm still new to this, I'm not really sure how to explain the process of me rendering, but honestly, it was probably the messiest I've ever done because not only was I in a rush, I was also stressed out because my pen no longer has a nib, and I still wanted to get this video out, so I'm like, well, quitting would be for pussy. What I have to do instead of delaying the video, I'm gonna get this done, even though I am using my fingers. I still figured out to get some, some sort of okay product, but man, I didn't know what I was doing half the time. My, the screen wasn't even registering my finger as much as it did my stylus. I used the line tool a lot. Man, I was going through it, but as you can see here, here's me, just adding flat shading, just usually just around every part of his body. I was getting the simple stuff out of the way, and again, this is an example of me winging it. I was basing it off of stuff I knew before, but it was a little messy. A lot of stuff is gonna happen here, and you can see me kind of just slowly fade away as I try to figure out how to do this the best way possible. And you can see me adding in on the other values here. I didn't want like a specific light source, so I just opted to go with just clear, you know, shading all around his body. And man, later on I'm gonna regret this because I kind of go for a different art style when it comes to the clothing, so it kind of it kind of meshes with the online art that I did, which is fairly simplistic and not the greatest way, but we'll discuss that later. So here I'm just kind of trying to see how the line art works here, and now I'm actually adding in all the stripes and stuff because now I can actually see what I'm doing. I decided to do something cool with it because I'm like, wow, the shading isn't really that good on its own, so let's do something cool and artistic. So as you can see here, I'm basically just adding in all those stripes. I added little, I'm not sure what I would call that, like effects. Like, I mean, hey man, it's fading away. I was gonna do the shadow thing that I was gonna do that earlier, but I opted to not do it. So we'll see that be removed later on. But here I start adding in this weird sash thing that I sketched in my first video. You should go watch that. And I was like, it's kind of hard to make this, clean. So I'm like, let's go with a watercolor type of thing, which I wish I had the idea way earlier, but hey, it's whatever. I start adding line art. I'm like, this is kind of ugly. Then I go back on it, and I completely erase this sword. Well, actually, here I reconsider keeping it, but later on I will take it away because I realized one, the pose doesn't really accommodate for it, and two, even though it is a cool idea, it kind of awkwardly placed there because it was like a last minute idea. The only reason I didn't want to do it at first because I'm like, I'm gonna have to refill in this part of the arm. I try using a blending tool to kind of drag everything around, and I'm like, I'm gonna have to redo the line art here. So, here I am filling out the rest of his little clothing thingy, and then it ends up looking pretty nice actually, and it's kind of a visual style that I wish I would have did earlier on. We see here, I'm gonna add all that in. I add some filters on it. It looks really nice. I wish I did this for his body as well. I tried adding like a layer of shading over his body to kind of make it look similar to the clothing, which I cannot achieve. But hey, we continue. So here I have no idea what I'm doing here actually, but oh yeah, I start fixing up his tail, which I didn't put too much effort into as it wasn't a focal point of the piece. I just add simple black shading here because that's gonna work out fine for me. And then I start adding in something that's actually a reference to how my mascot actually looks. So now we are adding in extra things such as a glow to his eye. I was gonna do a streak, but I get rid of it. Then I start adding, a light, like a kind of a small light source and some shadow. Here I go over the entire thing. I copy that. I'm not a fan of the shadow because I actually wanted to do a kind of a different thing here. So as you can see here, going forward, what I do, well, the thing ended. Actually, come on, let's go to the end. So my editing completely saved me just talking about that completely wrong and not matching up with on screen, but we're just gonna ignore that. Here is the final product, and that's what I wanted to do with the background. And I think it came out pretty nice for everything that I went through. Not really having a plan, just blindly going in with my line art, and then my stylus nib was missing, so I had to do everything with like my finger and line tools afterwards. And I think it gave me some perspective. I'm not really against it. That's what we do as artists. We challenge ourselves sometimes a little too much, but I think it came out well. I mean, I'm sure I redesigned him to look cooler. I mean, let me know what you think. And honestly, this gave me some good ideas. I mean, let me know what you'd like to see next. I'm probably just gonna post some more speed draws and a little bit of commentary here and there, but after going through this process, I actually think a challenge video would be kind of fun, but I legit have no ideas. But any new people showing up, welcome and have a good night.